The newsroom lights flash red. Urgent headlines race across the screen. Saudi Arabia stuns Asia. New alliance with Manila as China retreats. The world sits on edge, eyes glued to the unfolding drama. Reporters surround the Saudi embassy in Manila, microphones raised as armored cars speed through rain-soaked streets. The city is abuzz with speculation and fear. At the crack of dawn, news vans gather outside Malacanang Palace. The president of the Philippines is expected to make a statement. Manila's skyline glows under the breaking sun, each building alive with anxiety. People clutch their phones, scrolling for updates. International channels loop dramatic footage, showing Chinese vessels pulling back from disputed waters. The tension is thick. Across Asia, markets react, currencies dip and rise with every rumor. Diplomatic hotlines burn as officials scramble to understand this new reality. Something historic is unfolding and Manila is at the epicenter. The question on everyone's mind: why has Saudi Arabia made such a dramatic move, and what does it mean for the balance of power in Asia? Saudi Arabia is not usually the first name mentioned in Asian geopolitics, yet now it takes center stage. Last night, Saudi officials announced a sweeping partnership with the Philippines. The deal is bold: military assistance, economic investment, and diplomatic backing. It comes at a moment when China, for reasons still unclear, has begun to pull back its presence in the South China Sea. News analysts scramble to interpret. Was this planned? Did backroom talk set the scene for this sudden shift? Manila's leaders are tight-lipped, but the sense of relief in their voices is unmistakable. For years, the Philippines has struggled with Chinese assertiveness. Now, the tables appear to be turning. Saudi Arabia's foreign minister stands before the cameras. "We stand with Manila," he declares, his words echoing through marble halls. The announcement resonates far beyond the region. Allies and rivals alike are forced to rethink their strategies. China's quick retreat adds another layer of suspense. What forced this rapid change, and how will it affect the intricate web of alliances across Asia? Saudi Arabia's decision is more than symbolic. For decades, its gaze was fixed west, toward oil clients and strategic partners in the Middle East and North America. But now, Riyadh is looking east. Experts point to a Vision 2030 overhaul. Saudi Arabia wants to diversify, to become a global player beyond energy. The Philippines offers Saudi Arabia a valuable foothold in Southeast Asia. With its growing economy and strategic location, Manila is an ideal partner. Saudi investments promise new ports, energy projects, and advanced technology. Military exchanges are part of the package, including joint exercises and intelligence sharing. This is not charity. Saudi Arabia is buying influence. The region's sea routes are vital for oil exports. By supporting Manila, Saudi Arabia also strengthens its position in global supply chains. It gains leverage in international forums, making it a player no one can ignore. Behind closed doors, Saudi officials speak of mutual security. They seek allies against rising threats, from cyber attacks to piracy. Manila, eager for support, quickly signs on. The world watches as a new chapter begins. Just months ago, Chinese vessels patrolled disputed waters, and Beijing's diplomats spoke with iron resolve. Now the situation has changed. Satellite images show Chinese ships quietly leaving strategic shoals. Radio intercepts confirm a withdrawal order. Swift, unannounced, and unexpected. What caused China's retreat? Some analysts point to domestic pressures. Economic slowdowns and political unrest at home may have forced Beijing to reconsider its costly foreign adventures. Others cite mounting international criticism and economic sanctions. The risks of confrontation, especially with new players entering the scene, suddenly seem too high. This withdrawal is not total surrender. China remains a formidable force, but the message is clear. The cost of aggression has risen. The South China Sea is no longer a playground for unchecked expansion. Saudi Arabia's involvement changes the calculus. Regional powers take note. Old certainties are shaken. The balance of power is realigning before our eyes. For Manila, the Saudi partnership is a lifeline. Years of diplomatic struggle have left the nation exhausted. China's presence in Philippine waters brought tension and, honestly, a lot of fear. Fishermen lost their livelihoods, and the military felt, well, outmatched. Every diplomatic victory seemed temporary, until now. Saudi Arabia's backing is more than just symbolic. It brings resources, expertise, and international legitimacy. Philippine leaders who were long criticized for indecision now act with new confidence. The president's speech is firm. We are not alone. he says, addressing a hopeful nation. The promise of support means Manila can rebuild its coast guard, invest in technology, and improve surveillance. Saudi funds help repair ports and buy new patrol boats. Training missions start immediately. The mood in government offices is transformed, shifting from worry to determination. Ordinary Filipinos feel the change too. There's a sense of relief, even pride. The country's place on the world stage is suddenly brighter. The Saudi-Philippine package is broad and strategic. It starts with military upgrades. Saudi Arabia provides advanced radar and surveillance systems, crucial for monitoring contested waters. New patrol boats equipped with modern navigation tools arrive in Manila Bay within just a few weeks. Economic aid is just as vital. Saudi investments flow into energy infrastructure and logistics hubs. A new LNG terminal, funded jointly, promises to lower energy costs and create jobs. The deal includes scholarships for Filipino students to study in Saudi universities, building long-term ties. Diplomatic cooperation is stepped up. Saudi envoys push for Manila's interests in international organizations. Joint statements at the United Nations warn against coercive action in disputed seas. Manila, once isolated, now speaks with a stronger voice. Each layer of support addresses a previous weakness. In just weeks, Manila's vulnerabilities are turning into strengths. The world's capitals are abuzz. In Washington, officials quietly welcome the move. They see Saudi Arabia as balancing China's rise. In Tokyo and Canberra, diplomats weigh new opportunities for regional security. ASEAN members watch closely, some envying Manila's sudden good fortune. Backroom talks intensify. Saudi and Philippine officials travel to Singapore for secret meetings with regional partners. Military attachés exchange intelligence. Rumors swirl of a new security dialogue group, modeled after the Quad, but focused on Southeast Asia. China, for now, keeps quiet. Its state media softens rhetoric. Analysts debate whether Beijing will attempt a comeback or focus on other theaters. Meanwhile, Russia expresses support for China, but stops short of direct involvement. This is more than a bilateral spat. It is a chess game, with every move watched from afar. The stakes are enormous. Saudi Arabia's move forces a rethink of old alliances. The Middle East and Asia are tied more closely than ever. Oil, technology, and security now flow across new corridors. The old US-China rivalry is no longer the only game in town. For Southeast Asia, this brings both hope and uncertainty. Smaller nations may seek similar deals, eager for protection and investment. Vietnam, Malaysia, and Indonesia begin quiet talks with Riyadh. Regional organizations must adapt, finding ways to keep peace as new powers enter the scene. The economic impact is immediate. Stock markets react to every headline. Shipping routes are recalculated. The price of oil fluctuates as traders assess new risks and chances. Asia's future is up for grabs. The rules are changing and everyone must adapt, or risk being left behind. As the dust settles, Manila faces a new set of challenges and opportunities. The partnership with Saudi Arabia is an enormous win, but it comes with expectations. Manila must deliver on reforms and ensure that foreign aid serves the public good. Corruption and inefficiency could undermine these gains. China is unlikely to stay passive for long. Experts warn that future confrontations are possible, perhaps in new arenas. Manila must strengthen its alliances, diversify its economy, and build resilience. The world will watch to see if this new era brings lasting peace or just a brief pause in an endless struggle. In the streets of Manila, life goes on. Children play by the bay, unaware of the high-stakes diplomacy that shapes their future. Leaders gather in conference rooms, plotting the next steps. The city, once anxious, now dares to hope. Saudi Arabia's gamble could reshape not just the Philippines, but all of Asia. The next chapter is being written now by diplomats, soldiers, business leaders, and ordinary people alike. The story of Saudi Arabia's bold move and China's retreat is far from over. It marks a turning point in Asian politics and global strategy. For the Philippines, it is a moment of empowerment. For Saudi Arabia, a leap into relevance far beyond oil. Asia stands at a crossroads. Old power structures are shifting. New players are entering, bringing both promise and risk. Regional stability will depend on wise leadership, cooperation, and the ability to adapt. History teaches that bold moves can change destinies. The world watches Manila. Will it become a beacon of sovereignty and partnership? Or will new rivalries draw the region back into conflict? For now, hope is stronger than fear. The choices made today could set the course for more balanced and peaceful Asia.